finally here. This is the one and only Hyper Dolly, a Ukrainian-made motorized set of wheels that opens up a whole new world of shooting. Be it for video shots or hyperlapse sequences, after using this device for the last few months, I am excited to finally share my experience. Disclaimer, I was sent this for free to test it out, and the wheels are not the latest model wheels. For more information, check out the link below. Let's start with an unboxing and a gear overview, then I'll go through the remote and I'll show you how to use it. Let's do a quick unboxing, or unzipping I should say. This is the hard case that it comes in. It's quite sizable. It has this carry strap, and the size is quite nice because you can fit other stuff in it. You can also, of course, travel with it using another case like a tripod bag or whatever. So it's fitted in there. As you can see, I may have mentioned this, these are the old wheels. They are dirty because I've used this extensively, but that is how it fits in the box. Hyper Dolly itself, we'll talk about that later, comes with the Hyper Dolly remote. Screen's a bit dirty, and these two antennas. They screw on here like so, and then on here like so. What I have noticed is that you don't actually need these antennas if you are in close quarters. Now, that is battery mount. It doesn't come with a battery. I just bought one of these, or actually I've got a couple of them, but the battery life's pretty good on it. So that just plugs on there. You power the device on and set up your camera, your tripod, and connect it with the supplied cable. So it's not super lightweight, but that's not what you want for a device that holds a tripod and an expensive camera and lens on top. It comes with this carry handle, or it's built in this carry handle. You unfold leg one, and then wheel one, and then leg two, and wheel two, and that's that. This feels very well balanced and just very sturdy. I want to show you this thing that I only noticed after having owned the device for quite a while, is that it was made for me. I don't know if this is standard for everyone, but I think that's pretty cool. Let's do a quick overview of the remote before we head out to shoot. We are on video mode, hyperlapse mode, or system mode. This is where you change your channel, your motor brake so it doesn't run away, your backlight on the remote, trigger delay, which can be very handy for longer exposures where you need it to stop moving before you trigger the photo. Units, meters, don't know why you would use feet, that's a silly thing. Auto power off, could be handy to save battery, but the battery life has been fantastic. So I've mostly shot in video mode because it was just more relevant to the shots that I was doing. For interior stuff on video, very smooth, low and slow shots where I was recording open gate video, that was more relevant than shooting photos, which you would do in hyperlapse mode. So you set your distance, a certain distance in a certain direction at a certain speed with an acceleration curve, and then mode AB. So you start on A, and then 1.7 meters later, you'd end up at point B. You can also loop back and forth, or live mode. With this knob, you can then control the speed of the device, which I did a lot for the interior shoot. Shutter triggers the video to start recording once it starts moving. This is very handy to have a completely hands-off experience with the camera to keep it all nice and steady. Then in hyperlapse mode, based on the recording time and your playtime and your distance, it will calculate, also using FPS, how many seconds in between photos and how much distance in between photos it will do. You can set your direction, forward, backward, and homing. Once the shot is done, it will return back to the home spot. As I mentioned, I shot mostly in video. That is because it was more relevant to the shots that I was doing. But hyperlapse stuff for outdoors on flat surfaces would be the way to go for really, really cool, really long shots. Here's me a while ago in Victoria Park in East London, actually back in May, setting up the tripod legs into the clamps and clamping them so that they're nice and sturdy. I was not shooting the correct way this day. For example, this device now is rolling backwards instead of forwards. I'm showing you my first few days of shooting with it many months ago to show you the improvement I have experienced in quality of the end results. This is shot on video mode, moving very slowly. As you can see, this was at a low percentage in manual video mode shooting, where I set up a time-lapse sequence on the camera that ended up looking like this. I had a semi-slow shutter speed for the stills, and this is just straight out of camera with no stabilization or nothing added. I think this looks very nice. This is a much longer shot than I could shoot on a rail, and this is a distance that I couldn't cover while manually hyperlapsing because the distance between photos would be way too small. So as a very first straight out of camera shot, I was very happy with this. Very impressed with this end result. I did a few more, and the reason I'm showing you the failed ones as well is because it's just user error. This is in hyperlapse mode, where you can see it shoots a photo, then rolls a bit, it stops, shoots a photo, rolls a bit, etc. This is what we would call a shoot, move, shoot shot on a slider, for example. Now, the surface that I'm shooting on, you can see it, there's pebbles, it's a bit gravelly, it is far from flat, and this is absolutely not what I'm going to be recommending. You want to be shooting flat surfaces only, which I talk about later in the video. As you can see, even going up and down, there was massive bumps because of rocks and pebbles and just stuff on the floor that's not good. I was also heavily overcorrecting the direction, so with that knob at the back you can change your direction, and because it was early shooting days, I was overcorrecting a bunch, so I was going too far left and too far right, etc. Also a big storm hit here and I had to run home without getting it super wet. Now, this is how you should be shooting on a flat marble surface, especially with these wheels. This shoot was in Paris a while back. Client extremely happy with the footage straight out of camera. We shot everything as video mode on slow movement. As you can see, this is real time with a super wide angle lens, a 10mm 2.8, and everything on video mode in open gate video. So we had the options to retime the shots in post-production, because we can very much manipulate the speed and the feel of the video based on you know, the music and whatever we're using. This is great for orbit shots, straight shots, pullback shots, and even really long shots where you gradually adjust the direction of the device as it is shooting. As mentioned on the first shot, I was going backwards. This is how it should be going, so that motorized wheel is at the front of the device. And I can tell you, this was a decently sized shoot with a decent budget, and I couldn't have made it such a success without the Hyper Dolly. It absolutely changed the game for me for these interior style shots where you need to be hyper accurate with the correct speed, where you have a small footprint for a movement that large on a flat surface. Imagine laying down tracks to shoot this long shot, for example. You would see the tracks in front of the camera. You can't do this on a slider, you can't do this as accurately on a gimbal, even though in the end resulting video we did shoot on gimbal as well. The majority of the shots were Hyper Dolly shots, and I am extremely happy with it. The client's extremely happy with it. We have another project coming up in 2027, and I will be using the Hyper Dolly for that again, because it is just the absolute perfect tool for these interior flat floor orbits, straight shots, sideways shots, etc. This is my initial hands-on video with the Hyper Dolly. A big thanks to Andrew, the developer. I've linked his website and more information about the Hyper Dolly down below. What else do you want to see me shoot with this? Now that I've got it, now that I know how to properly use it, what works and what doesn't work, I'm keen to shoot some more stuff. I'm thinking some really long hyperlapses on flat surfaces in or around the city of London, but I am open to suggestions, so let me know what you would like to see down in the comments. A big thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.